Hey, so I hear that you want to learn to play Commander. You're trying to figure it out. You're trying to understand how to build your Commander decks and things like that. And welcome to MTG Tuesdays Tips and Tricks, where we are on part 3 of how to play Commander. And today we're talking about something important called your color identity. The color identity is very important in Commander, and I want to kind of get that to you, illustrate that to you here with my buddy Urza here. So Urza is Planeswalker, and he has white, colorless white, and blue. And so every commander is going to have a color identity. That color identity is what is either in its casting cost, or sometimes down here, there will be some things that say, hey, pay this, and you can do this. So there's like a frog that's just a green and a black, or just a black. But then inside of it, it's green and black, has an activated ability. That's the color identity of your commander. So when you're building a commander deck, so if you're building Urza, Urza can only have cards that are colorless, that are white, and that are blue. Those are the only color cards that you can put in your commander deck. This makes it a little bit easier to understand, makes it a little bit harder to build your deck, because sometimes you're like, oh, I want to play all of these cards. Whereas commander, it's a singleton format. You're only allowed one of each card, but also you have to stick with whatever your commander's color identity is. So whatever that color identity is, you stick with it, you get it, and then you make it. And that is what it is. And you can build around it. So if you've got a commander and its casting cost is green and red, but then in the text it says is green and red up top, but then in the text it has blue and it says pay 2 and a blue to draw a card, discard a card, then your commander's color identity is green, red, and blue. I think I said the right colors. If I said the wrong colors, I'm sorry. But if there's an activated cost in the ability, in the commander, there's a bunch of them out there that have activated cost that adds to the commander cost. If your commander is one color and only has one color, so it's just blue, you can only play cards that are blue or colorless cards as well. So artifacts, things that have no color identity. If your commander's cost is 5 colors, you can play any color, which is great, but also complicated because you have to be careful with it. That also includes lands. So if you're playing Urza, like if we're playing Urza, the lands that we can run can only tap for blue or white. We can't have ones that tap for any additional colors. But the only exception to this rule is a card that would say, tap this color card, sacrifice it, go search your library for a forest and a plains. You can actually run that card in there because it doesn't have a color identity and that. But your cards, your land cards need to be, if it taps for a color, it's either got to tap for colors only, blue, or white. Or if it has an activated ability in the land, so let's say the land originally says tap, pay 5 and a black, bring target creature back from your graveyard, you can't unfortunately run that in your deck because it has black in the cost, the activated cost there. So it is a little confusing to figure out, but basically you want to stick with whatever your the identity of your commander is. Typically for most commanders, that's just going to be what's up top, what's like in the top casting cost. Every now and then there are some commanders out there that can be a little more confusing or a little more, I guess you say, difficult, so to say, that have an activated cost, so that adds to it. So like there's Tatsunari, which is normally you look at it like, oh, I can only play black, but he has an activated ability that has green and blue in it. Because of that, now you can also play black, green, and blue. And so it's a lot of fun to figure it out. If you have questions, feel free to reach out and be like, hey, what's the color identity of this legendary creature? I can help you out. For the most part, it's going to be pretty straightforward. Sometimes with the activated abilities, they'll add 1 or 2 colors. They want to do that so you can have the ability to play multiple colors with the commanders and stuff like that. And it's a lot of fun. And you say, well, sometimes it's hard to build certain decks. And sometimes some decks aren't as good because you're like, oh, I don't have access to blue. I don't have access to green to ramp. There's ways around that. And as you build and begin to build commander decks, you'll eventually get better at it. Time and time again, there's a lot of resources out there that help you EDH rec. There's different people out there. If you need help building a commander deck, feel free to reach out. I would love to give you ideas and show you some of the decks I've built and things along those lines. Let us know in the comments below if you have questions about Commander, how to play Commander, what to do to play Commander, how to get better at playing Commander, because we want to help you grow. We want people to do better and to get more into Commander, to get into more formats, because we love Magic the Gathering, and we want people to come into Magic the Gathering and play. We want to grow the player base, grow people playing different formats. And we're going to talk about that all the way up to different things over the next few weeks. We conclude, we'll probably jump into how to play CDH, which is the next progression of getting into Commander and things like that. But we want to thank you guys so much for being here. If you have any questions about how to play Commander, if you have questions about things, please feel free to put it in the comments below. We will address those. We'll reply to those. But on top of that, if you're like, hey, I need some help with building a Commander deck, feel free to reach out. Love to help you try to build a Commander deck or help you give you some ideas from cards and stuff like that. Feel free to reach out here. Any of the platforms you find this on, feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you and help you get better and grow and build your decks. We like building decks ourselves. We have so many we're building all the time. But again, thank you so much for being here as always. We'll see you next time.